LeighTDickey.com. Well, hello everybody, Leigh Dickey here. Welcome to another episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast, a show where anything and everything that comes to my mind that I feel like talking about and wanting to share an opinion on, and basically give you guys entertaining stories to make you cry, make you laugh, not ask for refunds because you can't take that back. Basically, will get talked about. So anything and everything on my mind that I see that I think is interesting and want to share with you guys, we will talk about and I will talk about on this show, on the Beats and Speaks podcast. But before we get into the bulk of today's episode, the bulk of today's show, I want to get some housekeeping out of the way. You can find the Beats and Speaks podcast on my official website, LeighTDickey.com, on iTunes, on Google Play, on Spotify. Basically, anywhere you can find podcasts, the Beats and Speaks podcast is there. So go subscribe, like, share, leave a review, leave suggestions for what you want me to talk about on the Beats and Speaks podcast, and we'll get to them, and I will give you my opinions. I will give you my stories, and I will let you enjoy things from my point of view. This is sort of an audio biography show, kind of memoir type thing, I guess you could say, within the life of yours truly, Leigh Dickey. So without further ado, and with all that out of the way, let's get into the bulk of today's episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast, where I tell you why Christmas should be in July. Yes, you heard that right. You got me. Christmas should be in July. I am of the opinion that Christmas should be held in July. It should take place in July. Now, if you didn't know, I'm about to tell you that I run a Christmas and holiday themed Instagram account at Leigh for the Holidays. So you should go follow that if you're into Christmas and the holidays and celebrating it year round and basically posting about it, because I am an absolute Christmas and holiday nut. I love Christmas. I just got back into celebrating it after, just about a decade of basically, I don't want to say putting it off to the side, but not really caring about it. But I do run a Christmas and holiday themed Instagram account that is active year round. I do post year round, so we're in July and I will post Christmas things. So if you want to follow that account, it is again at Leigh for the Holidays on Instagram. I will link it in the description and in the show notes so you can find it there. But I am of the opinion that we should move, or that Christmas should be moved up from December 25th to sometime in July, during the warmer months, during the summer. And I'm about to tell you why. Like I said, I love Christmas. I love the holidays. I love the joy and the cheer that it brings to everybody and that it brings people together. And, gifts are secondary. It's basically, for me, it's about family, friends, good times, and sharing and making memories and moments with the people you care about and the people you love. The thing is, the only problem I have with Christmas is that I live in Toronto, Canada, and during Christmas and the colder months from, say, like November all the way through March, maybe even longer than that, because sometimes the weather can't make up its mind, because Mother Nature and Old Man Winter are going at it, perhaps, I don't know, feuding and or getting a divorce and going through divorce court and having Judge Judy preside over that case. I'm not sure, but during winter and during the time that Christmas hits, at least here in Toronto, Canada, and probably the rest of the country, it just snows relentlessly. It is unrelenting. It does not let up. And with me having to use a walker to get around, with the copious amounts of snow that we get here, the snow, the ice, it doesn't bode well. It doesn't. It's difficult for me to get around during the winter months, and they seem to last forever. Winter is just that season that shows up makes itself at home and just drags itself on. It's like an unwanted house guest, right? Like you let a buddy stay for, say, a day or two, a night or two, and then, 2 months later, they're still on your couch. It's just, man, you stayed long enough. Can you move it along now, please? We don't need you. You've given us enough of you've graced us enough with your presence. I think we're good until next year. Can you go now? And that's my only problem. I mean, I love the Christmas spirit. I love the decorations. I love the lights. I love the fact that it brings people together. I've said that several times already. But the fact that it brings people together is great. The fact that, like, families, they reconnect and they feel the joy and the love of each other. Plus, you get the exchanging of gifts, not a big deal, right? I mean, I could get a pair of socks and be happy. But the fact that great friends, great food, great times, great memories, great everything about the holidays happens around Christmas time, that's fantastic. And that is the paramount thing for me. That is the paramount objective for the holidays for me. And I'm sure for most people, but I would just love it to be held in the warmer parts of the year, especially here in Canada, in Toronto, where we just seem to get belted with snow year after year after year after year after year. I mean, it hasn't been as bad as the winter of 1999, where they had to call in the army to dig us out. I remember that because I think I was about 10 years old at the time, and I don't know whether or not the mayor at the time of Toronto decided there's way too much snow. How are we going to handle it? Call in the armed forces. Please dig us out. And they did. They came and they dug us out. But the fact is, winter is still a massive thing here. It's still a massive pain in the neck. It still shows up. It still overstays its welcome. And I, for one, with having to use a walker and various mobility devices to get around because I have cerebral palsy and walking is difficult, especially in the winter. I don't like ice. I don't like snow all that much. And the fact that it just shows up one day and sticks around for 3/4 of the year is just one of those things where I'm like, can you not? Can we stop that now? Can we please just pump the brakes on that? Dear winter, I don't need you to show up for 3/4 of my year. I'd like to, not have to bundle up wearing 75 layers, 85 pairs of socks, 16 pairs of underwear. I just, I'm a guy that likes wearing shorts, t-shirts, and sandals. And perhaps I'll get into why I used to hate wearing shorts and sandals in a future episode. That'll be a topic for a future episode. But I want to wear shorts. I want to wear sandals. I want to be comfortable. I want to wear t-shirts. I want to wear a baseball cap. I want to wear sunglasses. Hell, I'll put on sunscreen to protect myself. But I don't want to have to bundle up. I don't want to have to basically look like Maggie Simpson in a snowsuit falling over. I don't want to look like Stay Puft the Marshmallow Man's cousin, right? I don't want that. But I understand that it's Canada, it gets cold. Some people are just like, well, we go through it every year, right? You should be used to it because you've lived in Canada your whole life. And that's true. I have, and I am used to the winter lifestyle, shall we say. But it doesn't mean I have to like it, especially with having to use the walker. You understand that we get pelted with snow and having to move around with it is really, really difficult, sometimes next to impossible. And if there's a lot of the snow, and I don't like staying home. I don't like being chained to a desk. I don't like being stuck in my house. It's basically what I'm trying to say. I want to be able to get out there. I want to be able to enjoy, the things that I like about my day, the things that I like about my city, the things that I like about my life. And, getting out even for a few hours a day is paramount to me, or I'll go stir crazy. I don't like being cooped up in anywhere for too long, especially if it's in my house, because there's only so much TV I want to watch. There's only so many things I want to listen to. There's only so much work that I can get done during a day, and there's only so many hours that I can spend. There's only so much time that I can spend on my laptop or on my iPad or on the internet, on my phone or whatever, before like I'll have to put it down and do something else. I mean, it doesn't take that long to do the dishes. It doesn't take that long to clean things. So if I'm sitting at home and it's snowing uncontrollably, I hate it. Okay? That means I can't go out. That means because it's just ridiculously too difficult to move the walker over a snowbank or through the snow because you can only shovel so much, and there are certain people that don't shovel because they're allergic to it, I suppose, or they just don't feel like it. I don't know. But all I want is Christmas in the warmer parts of the year. I mean, if we lived in a non-winter, if this was a non-winter city, at least until the end of time, that would be lovely. If this was a non-winter country until the end of time, that would be great. Although I know that's like chasing a pipe dream, and that's not going to happen because winter shows up every single year. And we're all like, I got to brace myself. But every single year, I'm like, I know I should be used to it. I know I tell people that we go through the same thing every year. I hear the same thing every year, that we go through the same thing. I just still really, 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 really don't like it. And I really wish that we would have Christmas in July, in the warmer parts of the year. I mean, you're already going away, right? Going on vacation. You're probably going to visit family, maybe, who knows? Or you're getting together with friends. So why not have the exchange of gifts? Why not make the moments, make the memories, celebrate the holidays with pushing Christmas up to July or the warmer parts of the year? Like, wouldn't you rather at Christmas time be wearing flip-flops, shorts, a short sleeve shirt, sunglasses, a baseball hat? Like, I'd much rather be, saying Merry Christmas to somebody while being comfortable, right? I'd much rather say Merry Christmas to someone or Happy Holidays or whatever to someone while I'm wearing shorts, sandals, a t-shirt, sunglasses, and a baseball cap because I'm comfortable. I am more relaxed. There is no snow on the ground. I can get around easier. There's nothing I need to worry about. But with with winter the way it is and the way it has been basically my entire life, because I've was born and raised in Toronto, that's not the case. Winter just happens to pile on a ton of snow, and unfortunately, we as Torontonians and as Canadians and if anybody else lives in a cold weather climate, you understand, because we get a ton of snow. We get belted with it. It just shows up, and it's like going one-on-one with Mike Tyson, and he's not letting up. He's going to knock you out for at least a few months out of the year. And to me, that sucks. I hate it. Not a fan. Like, I understand that winter has to happen, but do we really have to get all the snow? Like, if we just... Okay, fine. I know I've said that I want Christmas in July because of the warmer months, because I like wearing sandals, shorts, t-shirt, sunglasses, and a baseball hat. But if it had to remain where it is on the calendar, on December 25th, and we all had to remain with the Christmas and the holidays are at the back end of the year between, the end of October and December 25th, can we at least just not have snow? Please, can we not have snow at all anymore? There are some people, but it doesn't feel like Christmas without snow. It's going to feel like Christmas with the amount of music that's being played, with the amount of Santa hats and Christmas sweaters you're going to see, and with the amount of people saying Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, or whatever. With the amount of holiday greetings, gift cards, greeting cards, presents, and family moments with like all the food, the trimmings, and the what have you, whether it's like turkey or ham or whatever you have for your Christmas dinner, it's gonna feel like the holidays if we don't have snow, at least in my opinion. All right. I I would want Christmas in a warmer part of the year. I really would. Whether it was July would be nice when it would be warmer and I could wear shorts and sandals and a t-shirt. But if it had to remain at December 25th, fine, I can accept that. But can we at least kibosh the snow until the end of time? It's just the snow, the ice, everything that comes along with winter. Can we just kibosh it? I don't mind that it's cold. I don't mind, wearing the jackets, the gloves, the hat, whatever. A scarf. I will wear the accessorized getup. The whole, must keep myself warm to keep my limbs from falling off because I'm just going to freeze if it's cold and I wear shorts and a t-shirt and we're only going to be able to count to 9 after this December or this winter. Can we just kibosh the snow? Can we stop with the falling white stuff? Can we stop with the freezing water, meaning the ice? Can we stop with that? Like, the only ice that I want to see are the ice cubes in my drink of water, mind you, and or lemonade or iced tea, or vanilla ice when I throw on some ice baby. That's about it. That's the only ice I want to see. I don't want to see ice on my driveway, on my sidewalks. I don't want to see it anywhere. I don't want to see snow on the ground. I just don't want it. I don't want to have to pull out a shovel anymore, and have to help my neighbors or friends dig themselves out. Not that I don't mind doing that. I mean, I will help my friends and neighbors and family any way I can, but having to shovel as much snow and, use as much salt or whatever to melt the ice that we do, and having to deal with the sheer amount of snow that we get, the older I get, the less I want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only 30. So I would love to have Christmas in a warmer part of the year. And I understand that you're listening to this and it's the end of July and I have just been talking about Christmas for nearly 20 minutes or the length of this episode. And you're probably thinking, why are we talking Christmas in July, Lee? You're absolutely crazy. Well, I mean, you're probably right. And I agree with you. However, go with me on this one. I just want a warm weather Christmas. I want Christmas in July, or if Christmas has to stay at December 25th, I want Christmas to not. I just don't want snow for the winter. Like, if that is the last wish I get, if that is the last thing I ask for in life ever, and that is the last thing a genie, Santa Claus, the stock exchange, the prime minister, anybody, if that is the last thing I can ask for freely, just give me no snow. I don't want snow. I don't want ice. I don't want it. Okay? It is such a pain that I'm like, I just don't want it. Like, don't get me wrong. Shoveling, fine, no problem. You get your cardio in. But who wants to deal with that? Nobody wants to get done up in the 75 layers that it takes to stay warm in a Canadian winter. And nobody wants to shovel. Like, we all hate that. We all know it's a part of life when living in Canada or even like the colder states in the US or wherever it does snow throughout the world. But nobody wants to do it. You don't want to be cold the majority of the time. You'd rather be warm. You'd rather be comfortable. Being cold, being surrounded by snow and ice, that's not comfortable. And I want winter gone, basically. I want it wiped off the map, much like Matt Groening did with Springfield in the Simpsons movie from about 12 years ago. Wipe winter off the map. No snow, no ice, no sleet, no nothing. Or bump Christmas to July. I mean, people are already going on vacations. You might as well have them visit family. You might as well have them exchange the gifts. You might as well have them make the memories, take the photos, have the meal, have the food. let them have a good time. Let them enjoy Christmas when they're at their most comfortable. And that is during the summer, maybe even the spring and the warmer months of the year. Because nobody, and I repeat, nobody is as comfortable in November, December, January, February as they are between, say, April and September or October. Like, there is a 6-month span for the most part, even though here in Toronto we have gotten some weird weather the last couple of years during like April and May. But there's about a 6-month window between April and October where the weather decides it finally wants to cooperate after like such long winters. So my suggestion is, if we can legally do this, let's bump Christmas up to July, or if it has to stay in December at the 25th of the month, can we at least kibosh winter? Please. No snow, no ice, no sleet, no nothing. I don't have to pull out a shovel. I don't have to get done up in 75 layers and put on 6 pairs of socks to fit in my boots to stay warm. I don't want that anymore. It's all that extra layering and all that extra, work, I guess you could say. Nobody wants to keep doing that day after day after day after day. And some people are like, oh, it's just one season. Yes, but that one season lasts forever. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants winter to last as long as it does. I mean, some of you might live in warm weather places like, I don't know, maybe Ecuador or, El Salvador. Or some of you might live in warm weather states like Arizona, California, Florida, where like snow is non-existent. And to be quite honest, I envy you, where you're like, oh, it's not so bad around Christmas. It's actually really cool. That's great. I mean, Hawaii, they probably get the same thing, But when you live in places like Canada or Michigan or, places like Australia, I think they get cold, Christmases, or is it opposite land where hot snow falls up? I don't know. I'm not sure. But places like New York, Michigan, Toronto, Canada, the rest of Canada itself, we get belted. You know what I mean? With snow, with ice, with sleet. And it's just a miserable time to have to go around and live life because, nobody likes that. It's such a pain. Nobody likes the boots. Nobody likes the layering. Nobody likes the having to wear a scarf, hat, maybe even a balaclava or whatever to cover your face. It sucks. And that's why, within the body of this episode, I am, I guess, can you say, campaigning for Christmas to get bumped up to July, and then have people be at their most comfortable when exchanging gifts, having the big meal, greeting their friends and family. Since you're already going on vacation, you're already going to be away, you might as well have it surrounding the world's biggest holiday, right? You might as well have it at your most comfortable. You might as well have it when the weather is at its best, and everybody will be happier. Everybody around the world will be happier when it's warm, when you're wearing clothes that are comfortable, shorts, sandals, t-shirts, stuff like that, sunglasses, baseball hat. Everybody's at their most comfortable, right? When the weather is warm. So we might as well have Christmas at that time of year. So July, please. And if that legally can't happen, can we at least get rid of the snow? Get rid of the snow. Get rid of the ice. I can't handle it anymore, man. The older I get, the less I happen to enjoy it. Pulling out the shovel, pulling out the salt, and then having to melt the ice, and then dig out neighbors and friends and whoever else, because your cars are just covered and they're stuck. Nobody wants to deal with that, and I am all for having Christmas in the warmer parts of the year. But there is my opinion on why Christmas should be moved up to July, and if we can't have that, let's just get rid of winter entirely. Please and thank you. But thanks for listening to this episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. Again, you can find the Beats and Speaks podcast on my official website, leightdickey.com, on iTunes, on Spotify, and anywhere else, anywhere and everywhere you get your podcast. So thanks for listening to this episode. We will see you next Friday with another episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. Again, I've been Leigh Dickey. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow my my Christmas and holiday themed Instagram account, which will be in the description and the show notes, at Leigh for the Holidays. I post there year round. You can follow all my other social media accounts. They will be in the description and the show notes as well. Thanks again. We will talk to you all and see you all in the next one. And for the Beats and Speaks podcast, you can find us on YouTube under Leigh Dickey TV, the YouTube channel. So find us there, and we will see you all and talk to you all in the next one. All right, Leigh Dickey signing off for the Beats and Speaks podcast and Leigh Dickey TV. Thanks again. We'll talk to you all later. Peace. Leigh T. Dickey.